Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the topic that I'll be speaking on today is about horoscopes. It's a table topic session, and I'll be giving random situations to the guests and the Toastmasters, and they'll be imagining themselves in the situation, and then they will have to use the word of the day, which is tenor, which I mentioned earlier. So here it goes. Horoscopes are a forecast of a person's future, typically indicating a delineation of character and circumstances based on the relative positions of the stars and planets at the time of the person's birth. Further, astrology most often consists of a system of horoscopes purporting to explain aspects of a person's personality and predict future events in their life based on the position of the sun, moon, and other celestial objects at the time of the birth. Adnan Leo is considered, Adnan Leo, who is a famous Britisher, is considered the father of astrology, modern astrology. Now, we all know what the 12 horoscopes are, which are Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Sagittarius as well as Capricorn. Now for the situation. The first one is of Aquarius. I would like to call upon TM Abid Ali Habib. May I know your star sign?
My Leo.
Okay. Leo. Achha. I've divided it into two aspects, the positive one and the negative one. I'll give him the positive one. Imagine yourself to be loyal, as Leos are. How loyal have you been to a friend in testing times? Especially when she went around telling your secrets to everyone. You can please use word of the day. It can be in your academic life, back in your university, workplace, anywhere.
Thank you. Table topic masters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. Astrology, like my friend mentioned, that this is an abstract knowledge or science. This is abstract art and science, and it all it's a complete study. And although I'm not a believer, I'm not a strong believer of the astrology, because I don't bring external beliefs in my lifestyle. Because when you are thinking of something, and when you're talking about, you can have an idea if you have a certain situation and you want to discuss, and if you want to realize, if you want to know about somebody's personality, you can. But when you are putting your situation and you are thinking in that pattern, then it is very much, because it is very much happening that the same thing is happening. For example, if normally I've seen my friends used to see the horoscope, weekly horoscope or daily horoscope. And when you are thinking continuously on that pattern, but my belief is that because of this, your mind power, you are manifesting these things because you are thinking in that way. It's not the horoscope, it's your thinking pattern. And it also creates doubts and gives you the wrong impression of the people because you have already made up your mind. So in that way, but although like you mentioned that because I studied horoscope up to my star, as I mentioned, I'm a Leo, and the one thing which I believe is that Leo are very confident. So I keep reminding in my mind that I'm confident, and I realize that I'm getting confident day by day. Over to you.
TM Mohsin. Your horoscope is Taurus. You would have to talk for 2.5 minutes on the situation that I'll give you, and you have to use the word of the day. Okay, Taurus are known to be independent. What has been the most independent and liberating thing you've done, and how was your experience doing it? Please use word of the day. Step up.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Mohsin, and as you know, I've been given this scenario, this situation, where I've used my freedom and showing my independency and achieved something. So I would like to tell you that I've been in London for 8 years, and the decision that I made in September 2006 to go to London, that was the first biggest decision that I have taken of my life. Being the only son and the eldest, I decided to go, and my family supported me. I was not good at academics when I went to UK, as I did not have any support there, as I was living independently. But with the passage of time and with the support of my classmates and with the help of my professors, I came out with a stellar performance in my subjects, and not only in the academics, but I was also, because of my stellar performance in my academics, I was appointed as the student officer of my batch in University of Wales 2012. And this was a big achievement for me, that whatever decision I have taken of my life to build myself, for my growth, and was coming up, being successful, and that's what my story is. Thank you very much.
My next speaker would be guest Anushae. May I have you? May I know your horoscope?
I am a Cancer.
Okay, you're a Cancer. Cancers are known to be protective of their loved ones and their family members. As far as that read, tell us of the level of protectiveness that you've had to provide to a loved one or a near and dear one in a difficult situation. Please use word of the day.
Sure, thank you so much. I would have to agree that Cancers are protective. I think if I were to be protective of somebody, I think it would be my own self. And I say that because I grew up with a single father. My mom passed on when I was 11, so I think I've developed this almost like a armor where I feel I need to protect myself, and therefore I need to protect some of the awesome people that I meet in my life as well. As far as being stellar, and the fact that I should be a stellar leader in order to protect my teammates or my personal connections or friends or even professional connections. I think protectiveness is something that's not just emotional protection. I think it can also be physical protection, so actually protecting people from dangerous situations. I feel that I'm an adventurous spirit, so I definitely take on challenges and lead the situation, whatever may come my way. So that may be a way of protecting physically people as well. But I think if we were to look at emotionally, I think the only person that I try to protect in reality is myself. And therefore, what I wish for myself, I can wish for others. So, thank you.
My next speaker is guest Sean.
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 Yeah.
May I know your horoscope?
Leo.
Leo. ever justified, or do they portray it to give a false impression about themselves? Please use word of the day.
Hello guys, Assalamualaikum. I don't think that Leo means egoistic, but I totally agree with the previous one is confident. What would I say about the egoistic? But I myself is a stellar that I'm telling you the brief of the somehow my story. I was in my 9th class. I wasn't able to speak my own language like Sindhi, but with my hard work and with the help of my friends and the family, I become doctors, and all the family members become shocked, like how the Sham become a doctor. And with my hard work, my sincerity with myself, it made me, and I have completed my USME exams. And all of the guys knows that USME exam is the toughest exam in the world. So this is my stellar performance in my life, and I have spent 2 to 3 months in the United States, and that's it.
My next speaker is guest Waqas Raza. May I know your horoscope? They are known to be ambitious. And has your ambition and desire to succeed gotten in the way of your family life or affected any of your friendship? Please use word of the day.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Waqas, and right now I'm working in a Big Four firm, KPMG. So 3 years ago, I joined another firm which was not one of the Big Four. So at that time, I decided I should join one of the Big Four, but at that time I didn't get the opportunity. So as this is my start, so if I have some ambition towards something, so I always go toward that side. So after that, I get opportunity to work in the video, but then I didn't quit my struggle to join a Big Four firm, but I keep on struggling there. So after 3 years, I get a chance there, and now I'm working in one of the Big Four. And this is one of my ambitions, and it's just more. Thank you.
Okay, my next speaker is guest Adnan. May I know your horoscope, sir? Excellent. They are known to be friendly and love to share jokes. Tell me a situation in which your jokes caused embarrassment to a friend or colleague, and what was the outcome? Please use word of the day.
Is it necessary to use that joke? Something else?
My next speaker would be TM Khawar Noorani. May I know your horoscope?
He has a plan for everyone.
They are known to be large-hearted. When has this trait of yours really helped someone, and how it impacted their lives?
Try to use it. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Khawar, and as you have seen my little bit profile on WhatsApp group, and regarding the topic I have got today, yes, it's like I am large-hearted. As right now someone calls me, like I know many things, how to work in custom house. Like I start my career from custom house because I was a cleaning agent before. I worked for cleaning agent for 5 years. Then after that, I do not like that business because my father did, and then my elder brother take over it. But every day I used to take 3-4 lakhs in my socks for as a bribe. So I do not like that things every day. So I changed my business to. I was not too much I don't have money that time too much. So I start making commission agent in polyester filament yarn. Alhamdulillah, after some years I got money as well. Plus, Alhamdulillah, I become chairman Pakistan Yarn Merchant Association. Then right now I have 3-4 seats holding in custom house regarding Pakistan Yarn Merchant. Plus, I am given valuation ruling to custom house from Pakistan Yarn Merchant Association since 7 to 8 years. So again, if someone calls me, I need some help in custom house, I can do it. I am in a helping way always. So I think it's over to you. Thank you.
My next speaker is TM Noor.
Guess no.
Guess Noor, sorry. May I know your horoscope? I use the negative trait, right? Do you think they are known to be stubborn as well? Do you think you are one, and if so, do you try to get your way with people and in situations every time you encounter difficulty? Please use word of it.
Thank you. Hi everyone. This must be fate. It's my first Toastmasters meeting, and my grandfather was actually an amateur astrologer. So I grew up in his library reading books about myself and all of you. One of my first memories was actually my father trying to get me to do something, and my mom turning to him and saying, "Imran, why are you bothering? You know how stubborn she is." Some people say stubborn. I like to call it single-minded, and I think it's a stellar quality. Am I stubborn? I suppose if you'd like to think of it as being single-minded, I'm single-minded on doing things that feel right to me, as opposed to things that are dictated from external sources. I guess one example would be I was engaged recently, and something about that arrangement didn't feel right to me. And eventually, instead of going through with the marriage, I turned around and I told my family that I was moving to Indonesia for 6 months and working in the jungle. I'm not joking. So for most of 2018, I was living in the rainforest in Borneo and working with animals and learning more about myself than I had ever hoped. When I probably should have been picking out a wedding jora and an engagement ring. So spoken like a true Taurus, I guess my parents would probably, if they were in this position right now, they'd say, "Yep, stubborn, typical Noor." But like I said, I prefer to be called single-minded. Thank you.
My next speaker would be guest Farhan. May I know?
Okay, sir.
Cancers are known to be clingy. Since cancers find it difficult to let go of things close to their heart, they tend to get kinky about things. Have you ever had any such situation in your life? Please use word of the day.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and respected guest. To be very honest, I don't believe on star signs because I have heard a story of Alexander the Great. In his childhood, he went to the palmist and he showed his hands and asked, "Please, palmist, tell me, can I conquer the world?" And after a few minutes, he saw his hands and said, "My son, I am afraid. You can't do. You cannot conquer the world." And suddenly he holded the knife and he hit it on his hand and said, "No, one day I will conquer the whole world and you will see." And everybody knows that his dream came true. So yes, cancer, like cancer, I believe in second ways that I'm very much sensitive and I'm very soft-hearted that too. And most of the times I feel that I should not have been a man because I can cry anywhere. And this is the, I think, negative things and you can say strength of cancer. But despite of these weakness, I can say that I have achieved so many things and the proof is this, that I'm standing here in front of, mashallah, whole crowd and speaking something. That's it.
Okay, for my last speaker, I would like to have Asfandyar. Please tell us about your favorite hobby.
My favorite hobby is to help people that are on the roads. They also have to be able to have a stellar life. The stellar people don't think that they should have a stellar life. They do not give them money. They think that they are different from them. So this is a very bad thing. We should help people and make them happy. So the popularity of people that don't have money will fall in Pakistan.
Okay, timer, have all the speakers qualified?
Except guest Waqas, everyone has qualified. Everyone has qualified.
Okay, please cast your votes for your favorite table
Read out the names. Yes, I can read out the names. Toastmaster Abid, Toastmaster Mohsin, guest Anushae, guest Sham, guest Waqas, guest Adnan Ghafoor, guest Khawar Noorani, guest Noor, guest Farhan, and our child star Asfandyar.